Hey guys, it's Lemming Rush. I have been looking at the Chinese tech tree, and honestly, this tech tree has some amazing tier 10s. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to be grinding the Type T34 because I want to get the 5A and the 113. So that's going to be the goal. So what I have to do for today's video is I have to play the Type T34, and that, this is a tier 5 tank. So as a tier 10 player, this is pretty much cheating. Alright, so this one we're on the map Live Oaks. It's a standard game. The enemy team has a KV2, SU100, and a T50-2 for their top tiers. They also have a KV1, T34, T34, T67, and so on. Basically, this is 3-5-7 matchmaking. Now, what I would expect, and this is very common in like Type T34 situations, is for you to get like derped by tanks that you don't know have derp guns. So derp guns are very popular in the low tiers, and honestly, looking at the enemy team lineup, the only one that I know for sure has a derp gun is the KV2. The other ones I don't know, and so I don't really want to be risking sort of taking shots at people, how do I say it? Often bad players will snipe with their derp guns and they'll catch you off unawares and then they'll one-shot you. So I don't want to put myself in a situation where I can get one-shot by some guy who's sniping in his like M4. There's not an M4, but you know what I mean, like a sniping KV1 with a derp gun or something. I don't want to risk that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to where I know the enemies will be. I don't want to play camo games basically, and I'm going to go to the city. Now, that comes with inherent risks, obviously. I'm choosing to fight a KV2 in the city. I'm also choosing to fight a KV1 in the city. And then, of course, there's going to be a bunch of tanks, given this is low tiers, who are sort of in this area. And then I might also get YOLO'd by just rushed by random players who don't really know how to play the game just yet. So, you know, there's a lot of risks with this play, but I think it's ultimately safer than going to the south, where if I was trying to push down the zero line, there'd be a bunch of people sniping from back here. And, you know, I don't want to deal with that. So yeah, what I like to do to start off if I'm coming to the city is, well, obviously I've been watching to see how many teammates I have, but generally what I'll do is I'll just come up to here, and this position will kind of give you an idea of who on the enemy team is going to the city. I'll shoot this stuff down because at least I can shoot people now, and basically if anyone crosses right here, I should spot them. Now, of course, having 150 ping, there's going to be a bit of a... Oh, that's a KV1. There you go. A bit of a delay, but he's safe. So we know there is at least the KV1 here. We don't really know where the KV2 is, but I would expect the KV2 to be coming to the city as well. So the T28 dies. My team is in the city. I'm not going to sit around where I was when they have two already. It's just not smart. I'm going to try to play the city and look for flanking opportunities on people, and maybe I'll get shots on someone right here. I kind of doubt it, but it's worth it to hold the angle, in my opinion. We still don't know where their KV2 is, so I don't want to be the one who's pushing around corners and then, you know, finding their KV2 or whatever. So this KV85 is pushing up. I'm going to do similar. I kind of get the impression that the KV2 hasn't really come to the city, simply because he's not... Oh, there he is. Okay, that took him forever. Now, this is really aggressive considering they have the KV2 here. I'm going to shoot this stuff down because I don't want to drive forwards, and I have the fire rate to do so. He's going to want to kill me, of course. I'm surprised it didn't snapshot there, but maybe I can get shots in this KV1 as he backs up. One bounced. He's loaded. That's not good. Okay, those aren't penning. This is a really shitty position to be in, honestly. The problem is this KV2 is, like, loaded and looking at me. I'm hoping that he'll shoot at someone else and not me. I also see the SU100, of course. This guy's distracted, so I'm going to put a shot or two into the side of his turret. Good, he fired, so we can just keep the DPM going and try to kill this guy as well as trying to stay safe from the SU100. Now this guy's on fire, that's great. We know he's down to fuel kit. I am spamming gold, I don't need to. There we go, good. The SU100 looks like he just fired. I'll try to get a shot into him. That one missed, that's okay. We can also just continue to shoot down these buildings. That's one of the great things of having high fire rate guns with like lots of ammo, is you can just shoot down cover for the enemies. We'll just keep firing. Good. Okay, now I noticed Artie shot at me while that was happening, so I'm just going to fall back and try to get Artie safe as quickly as possible. There is the T67. Honestly, I don't really want to shoot at this T67, but I think it's not even worth it. Oh, he's poking up. What the fuck is he doing? Okay. Regardless, this is where we've won the city. I've done 885 damage really quickly. Just getting unspotted and watching the map is really important here. So what I'm noticing is when I look at the map is I notice they've got 3 tanks in the south. They also have the T50-2, and you would kind of expect this guy to start pushing in right now, especially if he has support right here. Looking at the enemy team lineup, he probably doesn't have much support. The majority of them have probably kind of moved back to the tracks, and so I don't really know what the hell the 50-2 is going to do, but his worst play would kind of be getting himself killed right now. So he drowned. Of all the plays, I didn't expect that. What I'm going to do is I'm moving to the south because I want to be able to spot for this SU-85B, and maybe the M4. I mean, the M4 is not really in a position to help, but also the Stug. So basically, I kind of expect them to push into our base, and I think I'm going to be able to be the most use to my team by checking to spot them as they push in. And if they aren't pushing in, I'll be able to flank them, because they might be going back to base, right? So by pushing in, we can maybe catch them as they're trying to defend their base. So that's the general plan. Now, by the looks of it, they've got this guy obviously right here. I'm going to try to engage him like so. He has obviously spotted me, and it looks like he has a derp gun, so I need to be careful in a T-34, but luckily he's dead. And now it looks like we're going to be able to... Oh, that's a Matilda. Shit. Okay, so with that Matilda there, if he pokes on me, he'll probably die. You can see, like, there's 3 people ready to shoot at him. But the thing is, I do want to get under him, so he is forced to poke. And there you go. Once he pokes, you're able to get the kill. So, oh, shit. Jesus, I'm just getting shot at by everyone. So the Type T-34 shot at me. That kind of implies there's railroads here that aren't really shown, or sorry, rail cars that aren't really shown on the map. He could be literally on the tracks shooting to my left, but I think the 85 would have spotted him. So I think the Type T-34 is in this bowl right here, and I'm actually going to try to... Oh, okay. My initial presupposition was correct. We're able to get the kill. That's perfect. Now they've basically just got this T-67 left, who is roughly... There we go. He's dead. So, Jesus, that was the game. That's what can happen if you go to the city and just kind of make intelligent, like, plays. Obviously, I made a huge risk by crossing this road right here and just kind of sitting there. I think in low tiers you can get away with that. You're not really going to be able to get away with high tier play like that, but I think in general, as a low tier, the play that I made could have consistently worked. And, you know, with that, we had a Mastery Badge first class. So, that's the first game. Let's go play a second. Fuck. Oh, Jesus. Alright, so... God fucking damn it. Alright, so for this one, we're on the map Runeberg. It's a standard game, and Runeberg in the Type T-34 is fucking awful. I honestly... the enemy has like fucking, this is again 357 matchmaking. The enemy has a KV2, KV1, Panzer 4H. This is a terrible situation to be in the Type T-34. And the last thing I'm going to want to find myself in is like in a position where I need to fight in the city. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to focus on winning the zero line. The zero line allows you to get side shots into the city, and in the Type T-34, especially in a low tier game, I hope to be able to do that. Now, once again, being in a low tier game, it's very common for people to not know how to play. So you can expect, for example, you can't really predict where every medium tank on the enemy team will go. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if they end up having like a AMX 40 or something sniping from A0. So playing on the zero line, I have to be aware of that and be very careful, because obviously I don't want to get caught unawares by some guy who's sitting at A0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on winning the F line basically, and then I'm going to make sure that I have teammates with me when I decide to win the eastern side of the map, if I decide to push through. If I have to run away, it's like I have to run away to the city, but you know, the goal here is to win the eastern side of the map so we don't have to fight in the city. Now this Panzer 38's getting in the way, that's unfortunate. But luckily the enemy's taken a while to get into the city. That's because the M5 Steward has distracted them. One of the amazing utilities of lights is if they kill themselves early, it stops all the heavy tanks and kind of buys your heavy tanks time. And, you know, although I'm not advocating for Suez Scouting, you can often get into positions faster than the enemies if you have a Suez Scout. So, you know, that's basically what happened with this T1 Heavy here. Foreseeably, he's able to cross because all these guys stopped. But, you know, that's on the other side of the map. Right now, I'm going to be focusing on this STRV who's driving in front of me. I'm falling back because he'll spot me the second I fire. And obviously I don't want to get hit by whoever they have sniping, T28 or whatever. So I'm able to put 1, maybe get 2. I held the shot in hope that I would get 2. That obviously didn't work. And interestingly enough, I didn't see my Sixth Sense go off. So I'm going to push up. Oh, there's T28. I really want to help these guys. So I'm thinking if I get to here, I'll have side shots on the T28. The T28's fucking massive anyways. So he's looking at me. I hope he doesn't have the Dirk. No, he doesn't. He's got 110 alpha. And he's a one-shot. That's an M5. Oh, shit. Look at this context. This M5 Stewart can just push into me. I need to run. It's like a 3 versus me. Okay, luckily I've just had 2 people fucking bounce me. That's insane, but I don't see myself being able to stay here. Maybe I can win this. Okay, this is the hard part. Can I win against 3 tanks when I've got an AMX 12T in his position? The thing is the 12T's on full HP, so I think we can win this. It's going to be hard, but the problem is I can't see on the map who this third tank is, and I forget who it is. So we know they've got a Stewart and an STRV, but we don't know what the other tank is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of sit back here. That should allow the AMX 12T to sort of react if someone gets spotted. Now, me being me, I want to move up because it looks like we're winning, and I do want to get more damage here, and so I'm going to have to try to balance this out. And obviously, if we can push the zero line, I'll be able to farm their M3 Lee and all that stuff. So I'm going to give this a try, even though it might get me killed. Oh, hello. He's a 2-shot, and he's tracked. Perfect. I don't think he'll spot me either, so the STRV doesn't know that I'm here. STRV's dead. Good, and now we can go for this guy. Oh, Jesus. I am so good hitting fully in shots like it's nothing. Okay, and I think because it's low tiers, he'll have a long... There we go. Get the blind shot. That's our 3rd kill. We're up to 817 damage. Now the game is pretty much over. That was actually really interesting because a lot of people will run away in a situation like that, especially teals. Staying, especially... So, how did I decide to stay? I think what happened here, like, this is a mistake that a lot of people will make, is they'll run away from fights they can win. The reason I decided to stay is because I kind of saw that we were winning the city, and if we had won the city, we would have won the game, and I would have, like, certainly got 0 damage. So, to me, it's like, we're not going to lose the game. I can afford to risk staying in the town, and foreseeably after we've won the city, they might go back to base. That will make it easier for me in the town, and then I'll also have support coming on its way in like a couple minutes. So I kind of decided to make that risk. I also had a full HP 12T with me, so just sort of falling back, staying alive, that's why that play worked, and that's why it would work on a somewhat consistent basis. You know, sometimes you're going to lose those fights, but there we were able to win, and honestly, the reason that was a win is because this guy did 2,100 damage. We did 904 damage, but this guy fucking carried with 5 kills. And yeah, amazing job to him. But yeah, I mean, that's the Type T34. It's really fun to play. It's a really great tank. I really like this as a tier 5 tank. I imagine the T34 is better tier for tier, but you know, I don't really care about Russian tanks anymore. The Russian tanks in the current state of the game, especially the mediums, are really bad. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. If you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. And a great way to support my channel is to subscribe to me on Twitch with Twitch Prime. I'll leave a link down in the description. And yeah, bye for now. I am so bad at this. How is this my job?